I don't know how many of you out there are using Care Connect. I think that's what it's called. The app that DeVita wants us to use for our logging information, like our daily thing to show what we do with our dialysis exchange. So in a lot of ways, it does give kind of like real time, but technically it doesn't because I just entered the last month and a half of my exchanges and updated it. So here's my question. If you're using Care Connect, and I apologize if you're not because this will be a little confusing for you, but basically you hit add treatment and then you have to put in the time, whether it's AM or PM. I learned that the hard way. And then also the time and then okay. So for me at 7 o'clock is when I do my blood pressure typically. So I added that in. And then it wants to know everything broken down. And I forgot that we're supposed to take our temperature, but I don't do it. I don't think I've done it in the last 4 years. Maybe in the beginning I did, but no. Anyways, so once you put all that in, then you select which bag you're using, which at 7, I'm going to use a yellow bag. So I put in that I have 1. And then you scroll down to the bottom and you have to enter what was drained. Well, nothing was drained. And then I put in that 2,000 milliliters are going in. Then you hit that, right? Which is fine and easy enough. But the second exchange, when you go in there, I don't do the blood pressure thing. So I just go in and I put in that I'm using the green bag. I put in the time, the green bag, and then I put what I drained and what I put in. So in my mind, I would be putting in that information at the start of my exchange, except that I don't know what my drain amount is till the very end of my exchange. So then to me, it's like logical just to wait until the end of the exchange and put all that stuff in so that you have that. So it's not really in real time, but I guess close enough. The problem is, it's at the end when you drain, you're not selecting a bag at the end of the day. And you put in that you're not putting anything in, but your drain is a certain amount. So let's say it's 2,500 and I put that in and I hit save. It doesn't want to save because it wants you to put in a bag. So I'm like, do I not list my drain at the end of the day? Because I have to, and I should. I mean, I guess I don't have to, but I should, because that tells whether or not the entire day was worth it. To me, I feel like that is the most important one. Like, all that work for what? The last drain number to be real good. So I don't know. There's an option to hit save, and then I think it says save progress. So maybe in a couple weeks when I go to DeVita, they'll tell me that I'm doing it totally wrong. Maybe we'll figure out how to do it, but I did what I could. I already threw away my paperwork, so there's that. But the cool part is I do have a whiteboard in my exchange room here because I have to keep track of all the musicians and jams and gigs that are going on and when I'm promoting them and what day I'm promoting them. So I have a little whiteboard. So I'm thinking, sometimes I'm in a hurry and I don't have time to put in information on my phone about my exchanges. On paper, it was so easy because I'm sitting here, I'm doing it, I just throw it in there, which kind of sounds the same as the phone, except for you have to log in. And then you have to kind of fiddle around and figure out where you're supposed to go from that point. So sometimes I just want to be done. But I have the whiteboard to write it down. So maybe I continue to write it down, and at the end of every day, or the beginning of the next day, I just sit there and fill everything back in. And there's times that I travel that I don't bring my scale. Like when I go to Bisbee. You're supposed to, I guess. But what's the point when you're just going to Bisbee, which is 2 hours away, where my parents live? So I bring my bags home, and then all at once, I will write down all the stuff that happened, like how much they weighed and all that. But I'm like, this is just different. I don't know. I guess I'll get used to it. We'll see. We'll see. In other news, I'm trying to use this little thing here, which isn't working out well. Oh, my arm. For some reason, I keep getting spasms in my right arm, which isn't a flag for anything. It's just that my muscle is tired because I've been lifting and doing things quite a bit, and been doing some working out. So my arm's like so tired. But I did leave my tripod in the other room, and so I'm having to hold my camera this way, which is fine, and probably building muscle. So altogether a win. Yeah, so that's basically what I have been doing with my exchanges lately. Today is just day one of really getting everything in there. So I don't know. I guess it just takes a little bit different rhythm, which just to me, it's kind of, I guess it doesn't matter, because technically when I like disconnect right now and I get up, I would have to write it down in the notebook anyways. And now I just have to log in on my phone and do it. So I think it's just going to take a little time to do that. And somebody like me who's always on my phone and, like used to computer, used to lab work, or used to laptops and all that, you would think I would just be like, oh, okay, whatever. But it's just a whole nother thought process that now I have to think about. So that's kind of a drag. But that's okay. I'll figure it out, because that's life, right? New things, changes all the time. Just the way it is. So my water bottle, I should say, in other news, my water bottle, remember I bought it off of Amazon for $4. And I wasn't really thrilled with it, but at least it showed me how much water I was drinking. Well, I have Old Faithful, which I call her because I've had her for like 4 years. The only thing is that she's so big that I can't put her in my cup holder in my car. That's why I got that $4 one from Amazon. The problem is the one from Amazon was really cheap and plastic. And also, like, it was so hard to put the little nozzle down that you would sip out of, because you'd want to cover it sometimes, right? You don't want it up all the time. Well, it was such a hassle that I decided to donate it, which I did. Donated it out, so now I'm in hunt for another cup to use in my car. And I realized that I usually drink much more than that anyways, but in the car, not so much. So I think it'll work out well if I get a similar one. But I'm looking for ceramic. And I don't know why ceramic-lined tumblers or travel mugs or whatever are so much more expensive. Like, I know REI has them, but I don't want to pay $40 for one. Or do I? See, that's how I work. I function this way. I could spend $40 on one thing, or I could go to the thrift store and find a bunch of things. So that's where I am. That's where I live. That's my life. That's my thought process. So I'm just kind of watching on Amazon, because I don't have to get REI. And I don't want a Stanley cup necessarily, because I just think that's just way too vulgar in being too ritzy or following the crowd way too much. I'm not a crowd follower. I will swim up the creek, not with everybody else. So I don't know. Anyways, that's my search right now. Let me know if you guys have any ideas or brands. I have gone to Walmart quite a bit and been looking around. There's also ones that have handles that are like, kind of like if you take them to an event or something, you can hold it with the handle, which is kind of cool. But I'm not a purse holder. And so I'm kind of like, I don't know that I would even take something like that with me, because I don't like to hold a purse, therefore, why am I going to hold a water bottle? But then, therefore, maybe I should. But I have a really good camel pack. So on outdoor events, I need to start probably getting used to that. So it's a small camel pack. It's very pretty. It's purple and black gray. Purple, black, gray. And maybe I need to start using that because it does have a zipper section where I could put my wallet and phone. And that might just be what I start to do. Then I don't have to carry water bottle, even though it might be a little hot carrying camel pack. But beggars can't be choosers. And I need to make sure I have my water, right? That's the most important thing. So I'm thinking about hiking tomorrow. Maybe my next video will be of me hiking. We'll see. Because today was beautiful. I was just in a funky mood and I did not really want to go out other than breakfast with Linda. So we'll see. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Drink your water. Let me know if you know of any good cups to have in my car. Okay. Plus I'm in Tucson, which means that I need something pretty insulated because you don't want to come back to the car and drink boiling water, which can easily happen. Let me tell you. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.